Hey guys, what's up? It's Katie and I'm back with another Marvel Contest of Champions video, and today we are going to be looking at the response, well, kind of sort of, that Kabam had with all the feedback from Act 7. So Kabam basically announced that they are delaying the release of Act 7 or Book 2, Chapter 1, whatever you want to call it. And I think it's great that all of these creators came out and expressed their frustrations, and that Kabam actually responded, hopefully what we can hope for, in a positive way. Now, I've had a few days to really sit back and think about what I would like to see in the new act. So let's start really with 7.1. And in all honesty, this sucks. I really think that Kabam just needs to take the L on this one and just tone it down. Now, I'm not just talking about just reducing the attack, but also the crazy node combinations. For Kabam to completely revamp, though, and use some of the radical ideas I will be suggesting, I don't necessarily think it's possible to completely overhaul 7.1, just mainly due to the amount of time that it takes in development for these story quests. So let's go ahead and then just jump into 7.2, right? So, and this is where I think we should start suggesting some radical ideas, because think about it. This is a new beginning. So, maybe for 7.2.1, you can use your 3 stars kind of going along the scope of Variant 4, since Variant 4 was a lot of fun for many summoners. Now, of course, Kabam could increase, the difficulty, because let's face it, reviving and healing a 3-star champ is inexpensive compared to reviving and healing a 5 or a 6 star. So basically, though, by the time you get to 7.2.6, you're back at your 5 and 6 stars. Now, for the fights themselves, I wish they would make the paths around certain hashtags, because I feel like Kabam sometimes neglects the hashtags that could totally change the way the game is played. Now, think about it. You could take some elements of the Grandmaster fight and some elements of the variants and put them together. So, for instance, let's say you go down a lane, and anytime you fully evade a special attack, you get rewarded by a massive 3 to 5 second attack bonus. And then let's say that lane is hashtag Avengers, and so you use an Avenger on that path, you get an even bigger attack bonus. So maybe it's like doubled. But then say if you have class advantage, then the attack bonus is even bigger. So one of the things I want to emphasize, though, is that you get rewarded by using your skills in the fight, kind of like how the Grandmaster fight was. Also, there needs to be forgiveness for mistakes. One 5-hit combo, though, should not cost you a revive. Okay, so there's gonna be, people who are gonna be like, well, only Cap Infinity War would just smoke that path. There are going to have to be ways to, counteract people using the same champ. So Kabam could still put the counters in there so Cap Infinity War isn't being used all the time, right? So they could, design a champ and a node using the mechanics where 455 skill champs such as Falcon would be more beneficial than using your 565 Cap Infinity War. Once you get to the chapter where, you can only use your 5 and 6 stars. This way, you're quote-unquote nerfing Cap Infinity War and any other Science Avenger for this specific fight or path, but you're giving a bonus to another class, let's say the skill class. So, and this kind of brings me to something else, is one of the nodes that I actually really miss is role reversal, because role reversal made you think a little bit more about the fight, and it kind of shook up this dynamic, right? Honestly, I'm surprised we don't see more of role reversal, because it's one of those mechanics in the game that makes you take a second look at your roster, but it doesn't nerf 80% of it. All right, so with that little side note, let's go back to what I said in a previous video about a synergy slot. Now, for those of you who don't know, this would be an extra slot where, any champion of any star level can be brought in for synergy purposes only and cannot be used in the fight. So this would be, again, where you're going to be just using your 5 and 6 stars. So really, I guess, the whole point that I'm trying to get across is I want to be able to expand and use champs on your roster who you might not necessarily use, right? When you're at the point of using the 5 and 6 stars, you've got a lot of low tier champs, right? You've got champs that aren't ranked up. So, you know, let's say A-bomb, right? You got an A-bomb who's probably sitting maybe at rank 1, and let's face it, you don't want to rank him up. Me personally, I've ranked up champs to 455 just to make certain lanes easier, and now, to be honest, they're just arena fodder. So in order to step away from, you know, wasting resources on champs that you're never really going to use and expanding the usability of your rosters, we could add, maybe Kabam could add some sort of like gem system similar to the 6.3 boost system. Now, you can either get the gems by going down certain paths or purchase them for about 50 units, give or take. Using these gems, you could quote unquote infuse a champion and bring them up to, you know, 565 or at a minimum 455 for a certain amount of time. Or, I mean, they could even offer it so you could get one gem to bring the champ up to like 455 for 30 units, or one gem to bring them up to 565 for 75 units. Think of it like ranking up an obscure champ in the beta, right? No resources are wasted. Plus, I mean, have you guys ranked up champs in the beta? It's really fun to take these like forgotten champs up and then bring them into different matchups that you would never think to use. Okay, so let's take an example, right? There's a path where you get a bonus for #control. So anytime you power lock or power drain, you get an added 3 to 5 second attack bonus, like I mentioned earlier. Say on that path though, there is a Korg and a thing. So your first thought is, psh, I'll bring in my rank 5 magic. But my rank 1 Psylocke would be perfect for a couple fights in there, but she's just sitting at rank 1. Boom, I buy a gem, bring her up to 455 or 565, and now I'm expanding the use of my roster, and I'm still having to do some sort of skill play. Now, you could have a path where anytime you, let's say, auto evade, your opponent is stunned for 1 second and you get the 3 to 5 attack, 3 to 5 second attack bonus, and the hashtag, let's say hashtag villain, would give you an extra bonus. So bringing in an Ultron would be better than bringing in a Spidey or Nightcrawler. So then as you progress though through the quests, there are more skill-based challenges in order to get the extra attack. So you have to, I don't know, intercept or evade more difficult specials, but no War Machine special one. No. And then on top of that, you have to perform the task in a specific amount of time. So let's say there is a 10-second timer. If you perform the task while the timer is green, you get the attack bonus. But if you perform it while the timer is red, you get a weakness debuff. And I mean, they could even add it so it's kind of similar to brute force, right? Where you have to complete the task every 6 seconds or you get a weakness debuff. And then let's say in the last chapter, the tasks change, similar to how Mojo's prompts work, right? We all know how that works. So now you have a rotating task that you have to complete in a certain time frame using a specific hashtag of the champion. Now, adding all of this together, you have a skill-based fight that could be done using a wide variety of champions, so your roster isn't limited to 1 or 2 specific champs. So I guess the points really that I'm trying to get across is this, is I wish Kabam would make Act 7, that the content fun and interactive so that you have the ability to use various champions from your roster, and each path or lane you make, it thinks of, you have to think about what champ is best for this path that aligns with your skill base, and you don't want to be narrowed down to 1 or 2 champs that can do the fight. Even if Kabam wanted to scrap the whole using 3s and 4 stars from the start, I feel like implementing what I have said would be a positive change. Think about it like this, right? You see 10 YouTubers going through Act 6, and how many of us used pretty much the same exact champions, right? There was like 1 or 2 champions. But in a system like this, you might see each YouTuber using a different champ. So you have the possibility of 10 or more champs for a path. So I just feel like Kabam really needs to radically change how they come up with this content. Now, I'm of course just spitballing ideas, but ultimately it's up to Kabam to decide what they want to do. You know, I know that Kabam has the creativity in the development team to do this because let's face it, we've seen it. Creativity and content is what has kept this game going, but unfortunately, it's fallen pretty short here. So, you know, what do you guys think, right? How would you guys change the content in Act 7? What changes would you make? Let me know in the comments below or hit me up on Discord because I might make a follow-up video to this using ideas from you. But anyways, guys, that's all that I got. Thanks so much for watching. If you guys liked what you saw and you want to see more, please remember to like and subscribe. Follow me on Instagram and Twitter and hit me up in the Discord chat. Thanks, guys. Bye.